The most avoidable deaths of all time.
Philip Quinn, death by a lava lamp explosion. In 2004, 24
Wait, that can happen? No. Let me go ahead and take that out of my Amazon cart list.
year-old Philip Quinn from Washington State was at home, watching his lava lamp do its thing. But apparently it wasn't doing its thing fast enough for his liking. Instead of waiting patiently, Quinn had an idea that no scientist would ever approve of. He put the lava lamp directly on the stove to speed up the process.
Wow.
Physics had other plans. As the liquid inside overheated, the pressure built up until the lamp violently exploded. A glass shard shot across the room with enough force to pierce his chest, striking him in the heart. Quinn collapsed and died almost instantly. When police arrived, they found the shattered remains of the lamp, and presumably a cautionary tale about why household items come with warning labels. For the record, lava lamps already have a safety warning that explicitly states, "Do not heat this on a stove." A piece of advice that, if followed, probably would have saved his life. David Grunman, death by cactus.
Death by lava lamp. I mean, did he really die by the lava lamp? I feel like it's just really. I mean, he low-key did. But he died by glass, which is part of the lava lamp as well. But, wow. I mean, who's really. Why? Like, why would you heat up your lava lamp? Like, are you that impatient of like a person? No offense, bro. Like,
Revenge. On February 4th, 1982, 27-year-old David Grunman was out in the Arizona desert, armed with a shotgun and a questionable sense of judgment. He and his roommate had gone shooting, but instead of aiming at targets, David decided to take on Mother Nature herself by blasting away at a massive saguaro cacti. At first, things went as expected. He fired at a small cactus, watching it collapse in defeat. Encouraged by his success, he set his sights on a much larger 26-foot saguaro and unloaded
26
the shotgun into it.
foot?
And that's when karma struck back. A massive 4-foot arm of the cactus broke off and fell directly on top of him. The weight of the spiny limb crushed him instantly, ending his cactus shooting career permanently.
Dang, how big is a cacti? 26-foot cacti or cactus, whatever. I wonder how big it was though, like this big, and then it just like landed on top of him, or something like this thick. Dang, bro, that's crazy.
David was declared dead at the scene. Locals call it cactus karma, a brutal reminder that desert plants have survived for thousands of years, and they don't take kindly to being shot at. This could have been avoided if David had just picked a different hobby, maybe fishing,
Aren't plants like alive or something like that?
or literally anything that doesn't involve shooting at 500-pound plants. Hans Steininger. Death by beard entanglement. Hans Steininger was a well-respected mayor in 16th century Austria, known for his wisdom, leadership, and an absolutely massive beard. At 4.5 feet long, it was less of a facial feature and more of an accessory, one that he usually rolled up and tucked into his pocket like a Renaissance-era fashion statement. But one day, during a sudden fire in town, Steininger forgot to tuck in his beard before running to help. As he hurried down a flight of stairs, he stepped on it, tripped, and fell head first, breaking his neck.
Dang.
Yes, this man was literally taken down by his own beard.
Wow.
If there's any lesson to take from this, it's that at a certain length a beard stops being stylish and starts being a tripwire. Elena Struthers Gardner, impaled by metal straw.
So I mean, would you deem that as suicide or natural deaths? Cause it is by his own like hair and everything. Like, dang. I didn't even know hair like beards can grow that long, honestly, where you could just trip on it. Oh my gosh.
Reusable straws are supposed to save the environment, but this one didn't even save a single person. In November 2019, in Broadstone, England, 60-year-old Lena Struthers Gardner, a retired jockey with mobility issues, was at home sipping from a mason jar with a built-in stainless steel straw. But as she walked through the kitchen, she suddenly lost her footing and fell. The metal straw, held firmly in place by the lid, did not budge. Instead, it impaled her left eye, driving straight into her brain. Her wife, Mandy,
Dang.
rushed in after hearing the sound of her collapse, only to find Lena making strange, gurgling noises. Emergency responders rushed her to the hospital, but the injury was too severe, and she passed away the next day. Doctors later noted that if the straw hadn't been held rigidly in place by the lid, it might have moved or bent upon impact. But because it was locked
A
in,
metal straw? Dang. As soon as she fell on the floor, it pierced her eye, then to her brain. I didn't know a metal straw can be that like strong where it could like pierce bone. Or is it, am I tripping? Is there like no like bone like right here? I'm over like right here. Yo, that's crazy. And then she died. Oh my gosh.
It
That's
turned
one way
into
to
a
go
miniature
out.
javelin waiting for an unfortunate victim. This tragedy sparked safety
But that's
discussions
not
around
a
metal
that's not a avoidable death, is it? I don't know.
straws, because as it turns out, sharp, movable metal spikes near your face can in fact be dangerous. Who could have seen that coming? Jennifer Strange, overdosing on water. On January 12, 2007, 28-year-old Jennifer Strange from Sacramento, California, set out to win a Nintendo Wii for her kids. The contest, called Hold Your Wii for a Wii, was simple. Drink as much water as possible without urinating. Contestants kept chugging water, with the last person standing winning the console. At first, Jennifer laughed along with the hosts, but as she kept drinking, she started to feel lightheaded and nauseous. Eventually, she left, telling coworkers she had a terrible headache and was going home. A few hours later, she was found dead in her bathroom. By drinking
Wow.
too much water too quickly, Jennifer had diluted the sodium in her blood, causing her brain to swell dangerously. Essentially, her body drowned itself from the inside out, and she didn't even win the Wii. After her death, her family sued the radio station, which had ignored warnings from medical professionals about the risks of
We
excessive
see
water
you, okay?
consumption. The case ended with a $16 million settlement, but tragically, no amount of money could undo such an unnecessary and preventable death. Water is great, just don't drink it like it's a competition. Jimmy
Right.
Heselden, death by Segway cliff dive. In 2010, British millionaire Jimmy Heselden, the owner of the Segway company, set out to test a new all-terrain version of his product on his private estate. With plenty of open land to explore, it seemed like the perfect place for a smooth ride, except for one poorly placed cliff. While navigating the terrain, Heselden somehow lost control near the edge, veered off the path, and tragically plunged 42 feet into a river below. Rescue teams
Dang.
arrived, but it was too late. The man who owned the Segway company had been defeated by the very thing he sold. This death could have been avoided by not testing a self-balancing scooter near the edge of a literal cliff, or maybe by installing guardrails or just walking. Dr. Jacqueline Qatar.
And I'm pretty sure he like tested out in his own like property too, right? Yeah, how did he not know a cliff was like right there?
Suffocation in chimney. In August 2010, Dr. Jacqueline Katarik, a 49-year-old physician from California, made a decision that can only be described as bold, ill-advised, and tragically final. She was in a turbulent relationship with a man named William Moody. One evening after an argument, Moody refused to see her, so she took matters into her own hands. First, she tried to break into his house with a shovel, which, unsurprisingly, didn't work.
Oh,
Then
she's
instead of calling it a
crazy.
night and reconsidering her approach, she climbed onto the roof, removed the chimney cover, and decided to enter Santa style. Only one problem: chimneys aren't designed for human travel. She slid in feet first, expecting to land safely inside, but she got stuck. Badly. When she didn't show up for work the next day, colleagues reported her missing. 3 days later, a house sitter noticed a strange smell coming from the fireplace. Firefighters spent 5 hours breaking apart the
She didn't like try like screaming or anything like that, and like no one like heard. But like she would have gone to jail. But like that beats like dying though. Like that's the thing. And then on top of that, like couldn't she like wiggle her way like on like at top or like at the bottom? Like it kind of depends. Cause what if they like put on the fire and then it's like smoking her a little bit too?
chimney to reach her. She had been trapped just 2 feet above the opening. The autopsy revealed that she had suffocated due to the extreme pressure on her chest, which
Oh,
made it impossible for her lungs to expand. Moody later expressed deep sadness over the tragic accident,
I'm
calling
sad.
it a horrendously bad decision that cost her life. This entire situation could have been avoided by simply walking away, or at the very least, choosing a break-in method that didn't involve entering a narrow stone tunnel. Vladimir Lakonos. Death by exploding chewing gum. In December 2009, 25-year-old Vladimir Lakonos, a chemistry student from Ukraine, was doing what a lot of students do: chewing gum while studying. But unlike most people, he had a habit of dipping his gum in citric acid to make it extra sour. On this particular day,
Citric
Vladimir grabbed a
acid?
small white powder from his desk, dipped his gum, popped it in his mouth, and started chewing. only it wasn't citric acid. It was a highly explosive chemical compound he had been working with in his lab. Within seconds, the gum detonated inside his mouth. The blast was so powerful that it blew off his jaw and lower face, killing him instantly. His
Yo.
parents, hearing the explosion, rushed in, only to find an unspeakable scene. When police investigated, they found two identical containers, one with citric acid, the other with a volatile explosive powder. In a tragic mix-up, he had grabbed the wrong one.
He
This
didn't try
accident could
like
have been avoided by
he didn't try like looking at the label or like not mixing anything with gum at all, you know what I'm saying?
labeling
Like
things properly. It also serves as an important lesson. If you're going to eat something, make sure it's actually food. As bizarre as these stories may be, it's important to remember that these were real people with real lives. This video isn't about making fun of them. It's a reminder of how even the smallest decisions can have deadly consequences. So let's respect the dead, learn from their mistakes, and maybe, just maybe, think twice before making any life choices that could end up in a video like this.
no, seriously. Okay, but who's heating up a lava lamp on the stove though?